So let's talk about a critical issue in AI systems that can really sneak up on you, one that often goes unnoticed until it's way too late. It's called retrieval decay, and honestly, it's this quiet but powerful force that can seriously undermine even the best, most carefully built systems.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll set the stage with a perfectly validated system, our baseline. Then, we're going to introduce the wild card, the dynamic variable that brings in all this hidden risk. After that, we'll get right into what retrieval decay actually is, and we'll wrap up by looking at a whole new way to think about knowledge governance to actually get ahead of this problem.
All right, let's kick things off with a scene that I'm sure is going to feel pretty familiar to a lot of you. Picture a system in a nice, controlled environment. It's been tested, it's been validated, it's got the green light.
We have this idea, right, that once an AI system gets that stamp of approval, its models are locked, its prompts are set, the core logic is all signed off on, it should just work consistently, predictably. It's supposed to be stable, rock solid.
But there's a catch. There's this really critical piece of the puzzle that lives outside the system itself. And this piece, well, it doesn't play by the same static rules. This is the dynamic variable in our whole equation.
And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. You've got this tension. On one side, you have your AI system. It's validated, it's unchanging, its behavior is totally fixed. But on the other side, you've got its knowledge sources, all the documents, the policies, the procedures that it depends on. And those things, they're out in the real world, constantly evolving. So what happens when this gap grows between the static system and its dynamic knowledge? Well, you get a phenomenon that we call retrieval decay. So let's really dig in and figure out what that means. So, retrieval decay is what happens when the information a system correctly finds and serves up is no longer an accurate picture of reality. The system itself is working perfectly, but the world has moved on and the knowledge it's pulling from has basically gone stale. And here is the absolute key to understanding this. Retrieval systems, at their core, are expert matchmakers. They are fantastic at finding the most relevant information for any given question. But what they don't do, what they can't do, is check if that information is still factually correct or valid. They just don't check for an expiration date. Now just look at this, because this chart makes the problem crystal clear. Zero in on that bottom row. The system's function? Perfect. It makes a correct retrieval. It found exactly what it was supposed to find. But because the knowledge itself is outdated, the outcome is a totally inappropriate answer. The system did its job, but it still failed. And we have to be super clear about this. This is not a hallucination. It is not an error with the AI model. The model is doing exactly what it was designed to do. No, this is a governance challenge. It's a problem with the life cycle of the information itself. So what on earth do we do about this? Well, it means we have to start seeing knowledge maintenance as a crucial, non-stop responsibility for anyone managing these kinds of systems. It really just comes down to time. The longer a system is out there in the wild, the more its knowledge base is going to naturally, inevitably, drift away from the truth. Every single day that goes by increases the risk that it will give an answer that is technically correct, but in reality completely wrong. And that is exactly why this idea of knowledge hygiene is so incredibly important. Think of it like this. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it task. It's the disciplined, continuous practice of curating, reviewing, and managing your information sources to make sure they stay true to reality. And listen, this isn't some abstract, theoretical problem. This is happening every single day, in every company. Documents get versioned, policies get updated after an audit, procedures are tweaked for efficiency, and brand new exceptions to the rules pop up all the time. The world just doesn't stand still, and neither can our knowledge bases. So, to really get a handle on this, we have to fundamentally change our perspective. We have to shift how we view the role of information inside our validated systems. It's not just static data anymore. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this right here. We have got to stop thinking of knowledge as some static configuration file we just load up once and then forget about. We have to start treating it as a dynamic, living component of the system, a component that needs its own lifecycle management, its own review cycles, and its own governance, just like any other piece of code. And that kind of leaves us with one final question to chew on. In your own world, in your own environment, right now, is the life cycle of your knowledge being governed with the same rigor as the system that relies on it? Or is it just a ticking time bomb of decay, waiting to give you the perfect answer to yesterday's question?